Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back into the Bears Den, an NFL podcast with the Chicago Bears First Focus. I'm your host, Alex, and today we are here doing the Week 9 Power Rankings, the top 10, as always. These are my unbiased power rankings, where I truly think the teams stack up currently, and a little bit of movement this week. A couple teams returning from being on the rankings earlier, and a team or two falling off as well. So, with that being said, if you're new here, please go ahead, give this video a thumbs up. If you're liking the video, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications. Really helps me grow the channel and lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content. With that being said, let's get into it. At the number 10 spot, I have the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta's been pretty decent this year. I thought that they were going to be pretty good. A lot of offseason additions. And, Kirk Cousins has been playing very, very well. It's interesting, right? There was a lot of talk, a lot of questions about how is Kirk going to play this offseason, this season, coming off the Achilles, and how is the new team going to look under Raheem Morris. And the truth is, they're looking pretty solid, coming off another big win against Tampa Bay this week, another divisional opponent that puts them at the top of the NFC South. And they've already swept Tampa, so that really, really benefits them in that division race and really propels them closer towards, hosting a playoff game. So looking pretty solid so far. I'd definitely be happy if I was an Atlanta fan, and I've got them sitting at the number 10 spot. The number 9 spot, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. They're sitting at 5-2. They are returning to my power rankings. Look, I thought Philly was going to be bad this year. I thought that, the second half of the season was going to be who they really are. And, I was wrong. I think the addition of Saquon Barkley is really benefiting this team. They are able to use him a lot and lean on him a lot. And Jalen Hurts has really kind of turned it around. I believe he's played 3 straight games now without a turnover, which is absolutely massive. That was always one of the biggest things with him, right? There was a big stretch of games where he had turned the ball over every single game at least once. And he's been able to cut that out. And so, with that, they are winning now. And that's typically what happens. If you can protect the football, you truly increase your chances of winning. And so Philly is looking pretty good so far. I've been wrong on them. But, through 8 weeks, they're sitting at 5-2, looking really good. At number 8, I have the Chicago Bears. At 4-3, I had the Bears at number 8 last week. And you might be asking me, how? How do you have the Bears in the top 10? How do you have the Bears, at number 8? Well, there's a few reasons. Number one, I'm not really going to move them down that much for losing on a Hail Mary. Did the Bears play great that entire game? No. But they held the number one scoring offense to 12 points before the Hail Mary and 18 points total, which is still really good. They lost to a 6-2 team on a Hail Mary. And the Bears are 4-3, but their losses are to the 6-2 Texans, the 6-2 Commanders, and the 4-4 Colts. So they've lost 2 good teams. The Colts are an average team, but still 500. And they've all been 1-score losses. So the Bears have been in every game, and they're close to being 7-0, right? So they're not. So I don't have them any higher, but I do think the Bears are a good team. I think that they have to improve some things fast, but they are a good team, and I will stick with that. And I think they have the best young quarterback in the league. Number 7, just above them, the team that beat them, Washington, 6-2. I could make the argument that Washington could maybe be a little bit higher, but I just, watching the game, I wasn't really impressed with them this past week, right? I think that they were, moving the ball up and down the field a lot on the Bears defense, but when it came to red zone time to score, they couldn't do that. Jaden would kind of miss some easy throws. They would have a bunch of, dumb penalties that would rule off touchdowns and things like that. So they kind of were in their own way. I think Washington's a very good team. I had belief in them at the start of the season, picked them to make playoffs. And I think Jaden Daniels has played, exceptional football the entire year. But I can't move them up much further right now because, the Bears were the first good defense that they've played against, and they did struggle a little bit. So we will see if that end up exposing them a little bit, but I do still think they are obviously a very good team. They are a very well-coached team, and they are a dangerous team in this league for sure. At number 6, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh I had at number 10 last week, and they are moving up to 6 spot. Russell Wilson, welcome, man. I mean, this is looking like vintage Seattle Seahawks Russ. The way that he is throwing the ball, protecting the ball, moving around, making plays, hitting the deep shots, he has injected new life into Pittsburgh. And I thought that, them messing with who was starting at quarterback when they were winning was a mistake, but this team was looking dangerous with Justin Fields because of the defense. This team is now looking dangerous because of Russell Wilson and the offense. And so I think that Pittsburgh is really, really looking good. They're leading the AFC North, obviously. And uh that's, that's where I'm at with that. At number 5, I have the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans sitting at 6-2, looking pretty strong. CJ Stroud is, having another great season. The concern for Houston moving forward is Stephon Diggs out for the year with the torn ACL. So, a little concern there, right? How's that going to impact? But obviously one of the best young coaches in the league in DeMeco Ryans. Really good front four on defense. A lot of playmakers on offense. Joe Mixon has been extremely efficient down there. And, they are leading, a relatively weak division in the AFC South. So Houston at number 5. Number 4, the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love going down and Malik Willis comes in and saves them once again. It's pretty insane how good of a coach Matt LaFleur is. I would do anything as a Chicago Bears fan to have a coach like Matt LaFleur. This team, despite having to win off of 2 walk-off field goals the past 2 weeks, they find ways to get it done. And I can't be hypocritical here. I can't, there can't be a double standard, right? I say on this channel a lot, good teams find ways to win, and they are finding ways to win. So they're 6-2. This NFC North is insanely tough, insanely tight. I mean, all the teams are separated by 2 games, right? So every single game matters, and they're finding ways to win and separate themselves from the rest of the NFC, and they are looking strong. So we'll see the Jordan Love injury, if it, how significant it is, how serious, we will see. But I feel like even if he were to miss another week or 2, which I'm hoping he doesn't, but if he does end up missing some time, it seems like they will be fine with Malik Willis, So, just really impressive stuff from the coaching staff over there, and they are looking really, really strong and really scary. And number 3, I have the Buffalo Bills sitting at 6-2. Buffalo is playing very well. Amari Cooper is helping the team, and Josh Allen is still playing really solid football. At the start of the year, I had Sean McDermott as one of the coaches on the hot seat. I was concerned with, kind of the Bills falling flat in the playoffs year after year. And of course, we're not there yet this season, so we'll see if that happens. But as of right now, they are playing really strong football. They are leading their division, which is one of the weaker divisions in the league. It might be the weakest with the Jets, Dolphins, and Patriots. But, Buffalo is playing smart football, clean football, and they are really controlling a lot of the games that they play. So that's, that always signifies a good team, in my opinion. And so I have Buffalo at number 3. At number 2, I have the Kansas City Chiefs, not moving from last week. They're still 7-0, the only undefeated team left in the league. But, I just don't think that they're still playing their best football of the year. I think that is coming. But with that being said, they're still 7-0. They're still undefeated, right? A lot of their wins have been close. 1-score win against the Raiders this week, but good teams find ways to win. They're 7-0. They have the best quarterback in the league, who is, playing borderline poor football. I would say it's bad football from Mahomes standards, and yet they're still undefeated. So, D-Hop didn't really have too much of an impact this week. We'll see if he does in the coming weeks. But, with that being said, Kansas City at 2, and then number 1, same as last week, the Detroit Lions, 6-1. They put up 50 points this week. I mean, this is like, it's getting ridiculous, to be honest. I mean, I thought that they were going to be bad. I really misread Detroit this year. I thought they were going to, come off flat and struggled because of choking the NFC Championship game last year, but that is not the case. They look fueled up, they look fired up, they look ready to go. They looks like they're honestly on a revenge tour, and they are taking out anyone that's in their way, and they're not just taking them out, they are annihilating them, and they're playing games with them. David Montgomery had a touchdown pass this week, so you know this team is scary. They beat you in a lot of different ways. They can just beat you down normally. And, a lot of credit to Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson and that coaching staff. And, Jared Goff is an MVP candidate and, dual threat at running back. This is a very scary team. This is the scariest team in the league. And in my opinion, I know numbers in Vegas don't have Detroit is the favorite right now, but in my mind, Detroit is the clear Super Bowl favorite right now, the way they are destroying essentially everyone that gets in their path. So really big game for them this week against Green Bay. That is going to be a massive game. It's going to be a fight for first place and a really exciting game to watch. But Detroit is looking so scary, and man, this NFC North is going to be fun to watch down the stretch here. So those are my power rankings this week. Did I miss a team? Did I get it right? I'm looking at the power rankings, looking at them back, comparing to last week. I probably should maybe have Baltimore in there, but rough loss against Cleveland this week, so who knows, right? But with that being said, I appreciate you guys listening as always. Bear down, and we will see you in tomorrow's Game Fix video. Peace.